I want to start today with a question that feels honestly a little bit illegal to ask.
Illegal how?
Well, we live in a world that is just absolutely obsessed with confidence, right? I mean, it's everywhere.
Oh, yeah, totally.
It's the whole fake it till you make it culture. It's power posing in the bathroom mirror before a meeting.
Right.
It's dressing for the job you want, not the job you have. But I have this question that's been bothering me.
Okay, let's hear it.
What if that little voice in the back of your head, the one whispering that you aren't ready, that you aren't good enough, that you're just a total fraud, what if that voice isn't actually the villain?
I mean, that is the classic definition of imposter syndrome right there. The enemy within.
Exactly.
We usually spend thousands of dollars on coaching and therapy just to crush that exact voice.
We treat it like an enemy combatant. We want to silence it completely. But what if that voice is actually a superhero in disguise? What if feeling not ready is actually the ultimate proof that you are? Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are flipping the script on confidence, on leadership, and on what it actually means to be an expert.
It is a really counterintuitive idea for sure, because usually when we dive into leadership or psychology, the goal is to build the ego up.
Right, to make you bulletproof.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the material we're looking at today, which comes from insights in the world of high-level professional mindfulness training, it suggests that our cultural obsession with confidence might actually be dangerous.
Dangerous is a strong word. I mean, I think every single person listening has felt that pit in their stomach.
Oh, absolutely.
You know the one, right? It's right before a big presentation, or maybe that first day at a new job where you just think, oh no, they're gonna find out. I have no idea what I'm doing. You're saying that feeling is actually a good thing.
I'm saying that the pit in the stomach serves a really vital evolutionary and professional function. It's a mechanism for integrity.
Integrity.
Yeah. If you didn't have the pit, you might just be a sociopath.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, dangerously incompetent.
Okay, well, that's a bold claim. So let's back it up for the listener. Our mission today is to explore why doubt might actually be a better indicator of competence than confidence. And to do that, we are diving into insights from observations made by senior mindfulness teachers.
Right, people who have trained thousands of students over decades.
Exactly. And according to our sources, they have a very specific litmus test for who is ready to lead and who isn't.
And I'll warn you, right now, the results of that test are probably the exact opposite of what you'd expect to hear in a corporate boardroom or a startup pitch deck.
Okay, let's set the scene for everyone listening. I want you to imagine that you've been studying mindfulness for years. You're incredibly dedicated.
You're on the cushion every morning.
Right. You're doing the work, you've read all the books, you've done the silent retreats, and then a heavyweight in the field, someone like a Jack Kornfield or a Joseph Goldstein, absolute legends, they walk up to you.
This is the moment. It's the call to the big leagues.
They look you right in the eye and they ask a very simple question. Do you want to become a teacher?
It's a simple question, but it's incredibly loaded.
Well, in my head, the script is obvious. You stand up straight, you project your voice, and you say, yes, I am ready. I have studied, I have prepared, put me in coach.
Yeah, that's the default.
That's what we're taught to do since kindergarten, right? Yeah. Show enthusiasm, show drive, be the go-getter.
That is the standard Western script for success. It's got that American Idol audition tape energy. Pick me, I'm the best.
Exactly.
But here's where it gets really interesting. According to the observations from these senior teachers that we're analyzing today, if you react with that kind of unbridled, immediate enthusiasm, you are probably failing the test.
Wait, failing? By being enthusiastic? That feels entirely backwards. I mean, if I go into a job interview for a project manager role and they ask if I can handle the team and I hesitate, I'm definitely not getting that job.
In a standard corporate interview, where everyone is sort of playing a game of who can lie the best, maybe. But we're talking about positions of deep, real-world responsibility here.
Right.
When those senior teachers ask, do you want to teach pitch? They aren't looking for a sales pitch. They're actually looking for hesitation.
Hesitation.
They're looking for a pause. They're looking for what the source material calls some degree of doubt.
I have to push back on this a little bit because doubt usually signals to me that I don't know what I'm doing.
How so?
Well, if I hire a contractor to fix my roof and he looks at it and says, I don't know, looks hard, not sure if I can actually do it, I'm firing him on the spot, how is that doubt a good thing?
That's a valid pushback. But we have to distinguish between two totally different types of doubt here.
Okay.
There is the doubt of ignorance, which is your contractor saying, I don't know how to fix a roof.
Right. We don't want that.
No, we don't. But then there's the doubt of reverence, which sounds more like, I know exactly how complex roofs are, and I want to make sure I do this perfectly, because if I fail, your house floods.
Oh, okay. So it's not about a lack of skill at all. It's about understanding the stakes.
Precisely. Think about it in the context of these mindfulness teachers. They are dealing with people's minds, their trauma, their deepest layers of suffering.
That's heavy.
It is incredibly heavy. So if a student says, "I'm ready," without even blinking, it implies they haven't actually thought about how heavy that burden is. They don't respect the weight of it.
It's like if a pilot walked into the cockpit and said, I don't need a checklist. I'm the best pilot ever. Let's just fly this thing blind. I would be terrified.
Exactly. You would run off that plane.
I want the pilot who is maybe sweating a little bit while going over the safety checks.
You want the pilot who respects the machine. That hesitation isn't a weakness. It's evidence that they are taking the reality of the situation seriously. The source notes that this kind of healthy caution stems from a deep integrity for the teachings and a genuine concern for the welfare of the prospective students.
So if I say to the legend, I don't know, that seems like a massive responsibility and I'm not sure if I know enough yet, that's actually the winning answer.
Yes, because it proves you're not delusional.
It proves I'm not delusional. I love that.
It proves you are looking at the task itself and not just at yourself. If you are scared, it means you actually see the size of the mountain you have to climb.
And if you aren't scared?
If you aren't scared, you're probably just looking down at your hiking boots, thinking about how cool you look.
Looking at the mountain versus looking at your boots. That is such a great distinction.
It really highlights where your focus is.
Let's talk about the people who are just staring at their boots then. Because the source material we have mentions a very specific red flag response. And honestly, it's a response that I see on LinkedIn literally every single day.
Oh, I know exactly the one you mean.
So going back to our scenario, the legend asks, do you want to teach? And the student says, absolutely. I have so much unique wisdom to share. I am going to change the world.
It makes me cringe just hearing you say it, but it is so incredibly common.
But wait, it sounds like a great personal brand statement. Changing the world with unique wisdom. Why is this such a major red flag? Shouldn't we all want to be unique and change things?
Well, let's analyze the grammar of that response for a second. I have unique wisdom. I'm going to change the world. Who is the hero of that story?
I am. The student is the hero.
Right. It's the ego. It's what in these circles they might call spiritual narcissism.
Spiritual narcissism.
Yeah. If your immediate reaction to being offered a leadership position is look at how much I can shine, you aren't thinking about the people you're supposed to be leading at all. You're just thinking about your audience.
Wow. That's a subtle shift, but it's huge. It's really the difference between wanting to be a leader and actually wanting to lead.
Exactly. Wanting to be a teacher or a boss, it's all about the title. It's the status, the platform. It's saying, I want to be the guru.
Right.
But wanting to teach or wanting to facilitate or manage a team, that's an act of service. And service is rarely glamorous.
No, it's usually pretty gritty.
It's quiet, it's difficult, and it is full of uncertainty.
You know, the idea of unique wisdom is specifically called out in the material as a trap. And I find that absolutely fascinating because from day one, we were always told to go out there and find our voice, put your unique spin on things.
We are.
But you're saying that relying on your quote-unquote unique wisdom actually disconnects you from the real work.
In this specific context, yes, it does. Because if I am entirely focused on how brilliant my unique take is, I am just projecting onto you. I'm not actually listening to your needs.
Right, you're just waiting for your turn to speak.
I'm literally just waiting for you to stop talking so I can drop my massive knowledge bomb and look smart.
Oh man, I have been in that exact meeting so many times. You have that one manager who just waits for a tiny pause in the conversation so they can say something profound.
And it's completely useless to the team. The source material warns that this immediate speculation about one's own massive impact is a giant neon sign of unreadiness.
Because the ego is blocking the door.
The ego gets entirely in the way of connection, and you cannot connect with somebody, you cannot help them if you are standing on a giant pedestal that you built for yourself.
So if you think you're going to reinvent the wheel with your brilliance, you're probably just going to run someone over in the process.
Or at the very least, you'll be so busy talking and admiring your wheel that you won't even notice they're in pain. And the core of this work, whether we are talking about mindfulness training or parenting or middle management, is noticing the reality of the other person.
Which requires humility.
It requires deep humility. It requires you to make yourself small so the other person has room to be big.
Be small so the student can be big. That really resonates. But okay, this brings me to a very practical problem for you and me and our listeners.
Let's hear it.
We've established that confidence is a bad metric because it might just be pure ego in disguise.
Yes.
And we've established that doubt is actually good, but doubt feels terrible.
It really does.
So if you're listening right now and you're sitting at your desk panicking about a huge project, how do you know if it's good doubt, like the integrity we talked about, or if it's just you actually being genuinely unprepared and incompetent?
That is the million-dollar question right there.
Yeah.
And the answer is that if we can't trust our feelings because confidence lies to us and doubt just hurts, we have to look somewhere else. We have to trust our motivation.
No.
Yes, and the source material actually gives us a very specific checklist for this.
I want to go through this list one by one, because when I was reading the sources, this felt like a diagnostic tool for imposter syndrome.
That's a great way to look at it. Think of it as your pre-flight checklist. Before you speak up, before you take the lead, run your mind through this list.
Okay, let's do it. Item number 1 on the checklist is care for the integrity of the teachings. Or, I guess if we put it in a business context, care for the quality of the work.
Right. This goes right back to the roof example you brought up earlier. Are you worried because you want to make sure the roof actually holds up in a storm?
Yes.
That's integrity. That's a good motivation. But are you worried just because you don't want to look stupid if it leaks and someone yells at you?
That's ego.
Exactly. That's ego. If your anxiety is genuinely about the quality of the end result, that is a massive green flag. It means you care.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's look at item number 2, compassion for the people you want to help.
This is the big one. Are you doing this thing because you want a captive audience to applaud you? Or are you doing it because you see a real problem and you want to fix it for them?
This is tough, though, in the real world. I mean, sometimes I just want to do a really good job on a project so I get a promotion. Is that bad?
That's not bad at all. It's just human. We all have bills to pay. But it's not leadership.
What do you mean?
If your primary driver is, I want a promotion, you will inevitably make decisions that benefit you and not the team. You'll hide your mistakes. You'll claim credit for other people's ideas.
Oh, yeah, we've all seen that happen.
But if your primary driver is compassion for the people you are working with, you'll actually take the blame when things go wrong. You'll share the credit when things go right. And paradoxically, that is exactly the kind of behavior that actually gets you promoted in a healthy organization.
Because people actually want to work with you.
Exactly.
Okay, item number 3 connects directly to that compassion piece. A desire to alleviate suffering, stress, and anxiety.
Notice how incredibly tangible that is.
Yeah, it's not vague at all.
The goal isn't a desire to inspire millions of followers. It's a ground-level desire to just alleviate suffering. If you are launching a new product, are you doing it to disrupt the market and get a magazine cover, which is ego? Or are you doing it because people are actively struggling with a problem and this product genuinely fixes it?
That is such a clarifying question. Ego disrupts the market, service fixes the problem.
Beautifully put.
All right, and the last one on the checklist, helping others live with presence, or maybe in our corporate translation, helping others succeed in their roles.
Again, look at the direction of the energy. It's entirely outward facing. It's not about your legacy, it's about the other person's life quality.
So let's synthesize this for the listener. If I'm sitting here freaking out, feeling like an imposter, I need to stop asking myself, am I good enough? And I need to start asking, do I care about the people this work affects?
That is the aha moment right there.
It's changing the question.
Yes, the doubt you feel, it isn't a sign of your weakness. That doubt is actually a symptom of your care.
A symptom of care.
Think about it. If you honestly didn't care, you wouldn't be experiencing any doubt. You just plow ahead blindly. So you can completely reframe that anxiety. It's not evidence that you're a fraud. It's evidence that your heart is in the exact right place.
I have to say that is incredibly liberating. It takes all the pressure off of being the expert who has to know everything, and it puts the focus entirely on just being useful.
And honestly, ask yourself this.
Yeah.
Who would you personally rather follow?
Okay.
The leader who claims to have all the answers, who never ever doubts themselves and is always outwardly crushing it? Or the leader who sits down and says, this is a really difficult situation, I take this seriously, I don't have all the answers yet, but I am completely committed to figuring it out for all of us.
Oh, the second one, every single time. The first guy is going to confidently drive our bus right off a cliff while smiling for a photo op.
Right.
The second guy is actually pulling over to check the map.
Exactly. To borrow a concept from Zen that aligns with these mindfulness teachings, the first guy is what we would call a full cup.
Oh, the empty cup versus full cup analogy. I really wanted to get to this because it ties it all together so well.
It applies to absolutely everything. Imagine a teacup.
Okay.
If that cup is already full to the brim with tea, meaning it's full of your own opinions, your massive ego, your absolute certainty that you are the smartest expert in the room. You literally cannot pour anything else into it.
It'll just spill everywhere.
It's useless. It cannot receive any new data.
You can't learn if you think you already know everything.
Exactly. But an empty cup, a cup that actually has some space in it, that is incredibly useful. In the context of our deep dive today, the doubt you feel, the hesitation you have, that is the empty space in your cup.
That's a great way to visualize it.
That emptiness is what allows you to actually receive the reality of the situation you're in.
So feeling empty or unprepared is actually the absolute prerequisite for learning what needs to be done.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
If you walk into a board meeting thinking you know exactly how the next hour is going to play out, you are the full cup.
Right, you're rigid.
You won't hear that one critical piece of pushback from the quiet person in the corner. You won't notice the subtle shift in the room's energy. But if you walk in with that healthy doubt checking your motivation, genuinely wanting to solve the problem rather than just looking smart, you are open.
You're agile.
You can adapt to what's actually happening.
You know, this hits so close to home for me with parenting.
Oh, I bet.
I swear, the days where I wake up thinking, I have totally got this parenting thing down, I am super dad, those are inevitably the days where absolutely everything goes to hell by breakfast.
The universe absolutely loves to humble a confident parent.
It really does. But the days where I wake up and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing, this kid is a total mystery to me, I just want them to be okay, those are the days I'm actually so much more patient.
Because you're listening.
I'm listening more. I'm not forcing an agenda.
Because you've successfully shifted from ego, which is, I need to be seen as a good parent, to compassion, which is, I just want to help this little human navigate the day. You emptied your cup. You stopped trying to aggressively impose your parenting, and you just started actually parenting.
It's funny, we started this deep dive talking about imposter syndrome as this big bad villain.
We did.
But looking at it now through this lens of the motivation checklist and the empty cup, it feels way less like a disorder you have to cure and more like a necessary safety mechanism.
It is a guardrail.
Or guardrail, yeah.
It keeps us on the road.
Yeah.
It literally prevents us from driving into the ditch of arrogance.
Yeah.
And in a world that is constantly screaming at you to be louder, to move faster, and to project more confidence, that guardrail is what's saving your professional life.
The ditch of arrogance, I really like that visual. So let's try to bring it all back home for the listener. We've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
We've looked at the rule of thumb from these senior teachers, which is that hesitation is actually a sign of deep competence because it shows you understand the very real stakes of what you're doing.
And we've looked at the warning sign, that burning desire to change the world with your unique wisdom is very often just a clever mask for the ego.
And finally, we have the practical solution, the motivation check. Actively shifting your internal monologue from how do I look to how can I help?
It really all comes down to that one pivot in focus, moving the spotlight from yourself to the other person.
So if there is one thing I want you, the listener, to take away from this deep dive, it's this. If you are sitting there feeling like an imposter today, just take a breath.
Don't try to crush that feeling.
Don't fight it. Listen to it. Recognize what that feeling is actually trying to tell you. It's telling you that the outcome matters to you.
It shows you care.
You aren't feeling not ready because you're scared and incompetent. You're actually ready because you are scared enough to take the job seriously.
And if I can leave you with one final provocative thought to mull over for the rest of the week.
Please do.
The very next time you feel a massive surge of absolute confidence, you know the next time you walk into a room thinking, I am going to absolutely crush this feeling. I am the smartest person here. I want you to pause. Just hit the brakes for a second.
Why hit the brakes on a good feeling?
Yeah. Because you need to ask yourself a hard question. Is this confidence born out of genuine hard-won experience and a desire to serve? Or is it just my ego trying to hide the fact that I've actually stopped caring about the details?
Oh.
Because very often what we call total confidence is just a really convenient mask for a profound lack of care.
Oof. That is a heavy one to end on. Confidence as a mask for a lack of care. I'm definitely going to be thinking about that all week.
It's a very good reality check to just keep in your back pocket.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for guiding us through this material. This was a really refreshing take on something I think we all struggle with daily.
It was my pleasure. It's always a good reminder that the empty cup is the most useful one in the cabinet.
And to everyone listening, if you found this deep dive helpful, if it made you feel even a little less alone in your healthy doubt, do us a quick favor. hit that follow button wherever you're listening right now.
Yes, please do.
Or better yet, share this deep dive with a friend or a coworker who might be suffering from a bad case of imposter syndrome and tell them, hey, maybe you're actually a superhero in disguise.
It might be the exact thing they need to hear today.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the next deep dive.